Hi, so I'm going to be talking about our Blink assessment. So this was our final performance that me and Keelan did of Blink. To begin with, my targets that I was kind of like aiming to achieve by the end of this was to make eye contact and to have a clear addiction. So overall, I think our performance went really well. I think we managed to include everything that we did in our rehearsals and everything that we mapped out, everything that we put together. There were a few things that we forgot, and there was a few things that went very wrong, but we managed to like cover over and improvise. So, for example, I'm going to start off with when I was saying one of my lines, and it's supposed to be and feel my lungs in the clean air, and instead I said feel the air in the clean air. I'm proud of myself in the sense that I think I managed to cover it off by carrying on improvising the rest of the sentence and making it seem like it was supposed to be part of the play. I didn't break out of character like I would have done last year. I carried on, and a lot of my friends said that they didn't notice that I had messed up that line, which is a relief to me because I feel like as a performer that's a sense of achievement. As you can see on my website, we've blocked out what movements we're going to make, obviously because it's in traverse, so we have to make sure that we're rotating constantly and that my back isn't to one side the whole time. And I think we managed to include all the movements. However, there was one bit, before I turned to sit on the floor, we turn one more time so that I face that side, and then when I sit down I'll face the other side. I did forget that, however, I feel like it didn't cause hesitation in the next movement. We just carried on, which is good because it showed trust between me and my partner, even though one person may have forgotten a movement. It doesn't mean the other person would have done it. We just cancelled it out during the performance and I feel like that was really good because we had trust in each other. So yeah, that was one good thing. Another thing, yeah, I feel like it'd be better next time. I think my diction could have been better. That's something I still need to work on because sometimes I slur my words and it comes across like I have an accent or something. So I feel like I could work on my diction more, and that's just down to more vocal warm-ups, tongue washes, and repeating my monologue more. So the process of this of Blink went really smoothly because our group is a group of three. So between us we had two performances, so Keelan was in both of them, me and Lily were in one. Therefore unlike other groups, our rehearsal time was cut in half, so most of the rehearsals were in our own time after college or just before college, or even at home, because that way we could put in for lost time that we couldn't do in class, because obviously Keelan would be working with Lily or I'd be working with Keelan. However, I think we've worked around that really professionally, and we managed to conduct our time really well, which paid off. So I found it really difficult during rehearsals to kind of create ideas to begin with. I kind of struggled to create ideas for what we could do. I think me and Keelan, we went a bit, we had a bit of writer's block, even though we weren't writing anything. We just, creatively, our creativity levels were quite low to begin with because the piece is quite heavy, and it's there's so many ways to do it that we were stuck, and then we overthought, and then we thought none of the ways that we could possibly think of would match. At the beginning, we were aiming for like a physical theatre style, and at the same time, it was difficult to create movements that would fit into that, and to create a physical theatre piece, it's got to be really good, else it would just look poor. So we just decided to do elements of physical theatre. So for example, I had an idea that we could actually use welly boots and put them under the block. We were lucky enough to find that the dress closet had some welly boots in it, so we pinched those, put them under a block, and when we were rehearsing we had an idea that Keelan would actually push them and then he would lift them over and swerve, so it had kind of like movement to it. At the same time I would stand up, move around and sit down, and it would have kind of like a flow. The idea behind our piece is that there was a constant flow of movement, so it came across like it was kind of like a physical theatre or some sort of dance, more movement based. Yeah, but I think we managed to do that really well, and also that also relied on our trust, because when Keelan lifts the block he turns it straight away, and by that time I would sit down, so if he didn't move it in time I would sit down on the floor. So I feel like the timing was really important, and yeah, I think that went really well. um, there were a couple challenges during rehearsal, as me, Lily and Keelan are all really good friends and we were surprised to be put together in a group. However, we overcame those challenges and decided that we would, during work time, we would focus on our performance and encourage and support each other. So one person would be the director whilst the other two would practice and rehearse. And obviously outside of college time we'd go back into our normal social lives. But yeah, that was a really interesting project, because to begin with we were kind of like struggled between the balance of our really good friendship and also at the same time really good professionals. But I feel like at the end of it we managed to overcome it, and I could definitely work with them again, and I really enjoyed that, and I feel like we managed to create a really good piece. Overall, I'm really impressed of Lily and Keelan's performance and me and Keelan's performance. I think we did really well. There were some things that we forgot, and there were always things to improve, but overall I'm really happy with the piece, and I think that I've improved a lot from the start of doing this and from last year.